If you're feeling a little bit lost in life, or like you need a little bit of reassurance and comfort, then I think you're going to get something out of this video. Welcome back, my name is Sarah, and on this channel we talk about self-help, books and spirituality. Pretty much. Today I'm going to be telling you the 5 things that if I had a time machine I would go back and I would tell my younger self. Grab yourself a cup of tea, cup of coffee, get cozy, and let's just get into it. I feel like my hair is so 90s today, but I'm actually loving it. Okay, so I'm going to tell you some of the things that I would tell my younger self if I had a time machine, if I could go back in time and tell her this. This is what I'd say. Number 1 is you can handle whatever life throws at you. Life can be tough, but you've survived 100% of your worst days so far. So that should be proof enough to you that you can truly handle whatever life throws at you. Life, that's just the nature of it, right? It's going to throw you curveballs, it's going to maybe throw you off track a little bit, but you have to have enough self-belief and trust within yourself to know that no matter what happens, you've got this and you can handle it. Especially the past few years with the pandemic, like I don't think anyone could have saw that coming, so that was a big curveball for me, and it really changed a lot of the way that I work, the way that I think about myself. It changed a lot. However, here I am, luckily I'm on the other side of it now, and I'm actually really glad that I've gone through all those experiences. As much as they were really difficult, I have learned so much, and I have truly learned that no matter what, I am able to handle it. I've got this, I've got my own back, and I can do this, and you can too. You're strong and you're capable, and no matter what comes your way, you'll deal with it. So the second thing I would tell my younger self is we're all just winging it. I am now 30 years old. I have a fiance. I moved out like 8 years ago. I have a dog, I have a car, I have multiple jobs, and yet I still don't really feel like a grown-up. I'm still waiting for that to happen. I'm literally getting married next year, and I still feel like I'm just pretending. And I think a lot of people, in fact I think everybody feels this way. I don't think that you'll ever come across a person that's like, no, I really feel like an adult and I feel totally sure of every single thing in my life and totally on top of things. And if someone does tell you that, I think they're lying. I don't think anyone has it completely figured out in every area of their life. It might seem to the outsiders that they do, but trust me, they don't. This is our first time round. I mean, depending on if you believe in reincarnation or not, but this is our first time in this earthly experience, in this vessel. So it's okay that we don't know what we're doing most of the time. Do you know what I mean? We've never done most of the things that we're doing in this life. Like, we're having a lot of first time experiences, so it's okay not to feel completely ready for everything. It's okay not to feel completely prepared. We've never done this before. How can we feel completely prepared or know what to expect? We can. We are all truly just winging it. All we can do is the best we can with what we have. Number 3 is a big one, and that is don't depend on other people for your happiness. Now, I made that mistake time and time again, but here's the truth of it. Your friends, your partner, your mum and dad, anyone in your life, they are just human, and therefore they have the capability to let you down, and they will let you down from time to time, and you'll let other people down. We're all human, so we all are capable of being selfish, of being insensitive, and even being hurtful to others at times, whether intentionally or not. So if you give over your happiness, if you put your happiness in someone else's hands, they're going to drop it. Hopefully not all the time, but inevitably at some point they're going to drop the ball, and you're going to be left feeling disappointed and feeling heartbroken and unhappy, and that's okay. But the lesson here is to cultivate your own happiness. It's to spend time with yourself, discover what brings you joy, and don't rely on other people to bring that into your life. It starts from within. That might mean that you'll spend a bit more time on your own, and honestly, if you're a little bit younger, that can seem scary. I know when I was like a teenager, or even in my sort of early 20s, I didn't really want to go out and do things by myself because I thought people might think, oh, she's got no friends, she's lonely. But the truth is, you're not, and most people aren't even paying attention to you anyway, so it really doesn't matter. I love spending time by myself now. As a 30-year-old woman, I love taking myself out for a coffee, reading my book, having my main character moment in a cafe, watching the world go by. Like, genuinely, there is nothing that makes me happier. I love spending time in the bath, listening to my podcast, like nobody else around. That is just bliss to me. Even having like a night in on my own to watch the shows that I like to watch, exercising on my own. Like, there's so many things that I can do by myself that truly bring me joy, and I don't rely on other people for it. And that is putting yourself in a really powerful place. To be in charge of your own happiness is an amazing feeling. And also, as an added bonus, when you do things by yourself, you actually learn so much about yourself. I know a lot of people that have went traveling on their own and they come to understand themselves on a deeper level, and honestly it can get addictive, so like be careful with this one, because you might find that you prefer your own company to other people and you might isolate yourself a bit. It's all about balance, but spending time on your own is definitely not something to be afraid of, and cultivating your own happiness is an absolute must. The next thing I would tell my younger self is you are worthy no matter what. It doesn't matter if you're a big celebrity making millions or you're someone living on the street. Everyone is equally worthy. No human life is worth more than another. This is a lie that we are told. It's so insidious. Do not let society fool you into thinking that your life is worth more or less than someone else, because that is simply not true. We're all born into a set of circumstances, right? Whether that be into a certain family dynamic, into a certain wealth status, into a certain race or culture, whatever. We're all born with a different set of cards, right? We're not all born on an equal playing field. There is no reason for us to sit here and say, oh, like, I'm worth more because of this, because in an instant your circumstances can change. And I'm not saying that to like scare people, but you know, if you're super rich, like, you can lose that money. Same thing if you're really poor, you can overnight win money, or you know, start a business and receive all that money. So there's no point in putting emphasis on rich, poor, cultural status, all these different things. We're all human, therefore we should all be equal. I know I may be talking about this in a utopian beautiful society that we don't live in, but I really think that if more people thought this way, the world would be such a better place. And I'll be honest, I haven't always thought this way. This is something that I've learned or relearned through my spiritual journey, that, you know, I'm not better than someone because I have X, Y, and Z, but equally I'm not less than someone because I don't have X, Y, and Z. We're all equal, we're all human. And the last thing that I would go back and tell little Sarah, if I could, is that timelines don't exist. Timelines and things that we have decided as a society that we have to achieve by a certain point. So for example, for me, when I was younger, I used to think that by the time I was 30, I should be married, I should own a house, and I should have kids. I have none of those things. And you know what? I'm fine. I'm still alive. Nothing bad's happened to me. I'm good, and I'm actually in a really good place in my life, and I'm actually pretty happy. So these timelines that we have constructed, this checklist of things that we have constructed as a society, as like things that you need to achieve by a certain point in your life, it's just total BS. Like, there's no reason for it apart from to make ourselves feel bad when we don't achieve them. These things that we have decided that we need to achieve do not necessarily lead to our overall happiness and fulfillment and contentment. And in fact, I know people personally that have all these things, and on the outside their life looks great, but on the inside they are miserable. They hate their life. So timelines are just, don't worry about them. Don't worry about having a certain thing by the time you're a certain age. It's just pointless, and it doesn't mean that you're any further along or any more happy than anyone else. We're all on our own journeys here, so our timelines are going to look different from everybody else, and that is okay. Create a life that feels good for yourself on the inside instead of one that looks good on the outside. So those are my 5 things that I would go back and tell younger me if I could. I hope that you got something out of this video. Please let me know what resonated with you in the comments. If you haven't already, please like and please subscribe. I'm really trying to like increase my subscribers. I'm going to be trying to make a video every single week, so if you like content about self-help, books and spirituality, then you're in the right place, so please subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!